everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you just so happen to be stopping by for the very first time, my name is Donella, and you guys already know this is my world of makeup right here. I know you guys are actually itching to find out what foundation I'm going to be reviewing, because I didn't include it in the title of this video, and I deliberately did that because I really wanted everybody to kind of click on it. It was somewhat of a clickbait, just to see if everybody would just click on it. But I'm kind of really late, not kind of, I'm really late with reviewing this foundation. And one of the reasons why I'm so late is because, number one, I wasn't exactly sure which foundation I wanted to review, because there was a poll I would have posted on Instagram and on Snapchat where this foundation went up against the ABH foundation, the ABH Luminous foundation, and I am happy to report, and I am happy to say that the general consensus was that you guys wanted me to review this foundation over here. And I'm really glad, because me and luminous things don't really agree, because of my skin type. You guys already know I suffer from oily skin. Not that having oily skin is a bad thing. I just need to let you guys know that having oily skin is actually a really good thing, because when your natural oils, etc., sets into your makeup, your skin just looks nice and natural and glowy, not greasy. Like when your face looks overall greasy, you have to tone it down a little bit. That's okay, but when your natural oils just actually sets in your makeup, I think that having oily skin is one of the advantages of having your makeup just look good overall throughout the course of the day. As long as you know how to apply your makeup, how to control how to control the extra grease and etc. Just a little bit of natural oil is kind of just seeping through, and everything just sets in your powder and your setting spray and everything just looks beautiful. Foundation I am going to be reviewing in this video, the Fenty Hydrating Foundation. I went up a shade. I bought the shade 440. In the soft matte, I am normally the shade 430, but I went up a shade because I can see that, I know lighting and everything, you guys can't really see it, but I did actually get a little bit darker because I don't know why I spend so much time in the sun. I'm somewhat of a beach bum. I'm always on the beach. I'm always in the sun and etc. Yeah, so I got a little bit of a tan on my natural tan. So I went up a shade just to be certain. I haven't tried it yet because I was saving it for this video. Those of you who are familiar with the Fenty brand, you guys already know when Rihanna released the original Fenty foundation, the soft matte foundation, that she would have released a primer as well, which is the original Fenty primer. This is like a soft matte finish. This is one of my favorite primers. This is actually my second or third bottle, I think. So yeah, this is what she's looking like right now. This was the original. And when they released the hydrating primer, they would have released two other primers as well, for the different skin types. There's the hydrating primers for persons who suffer from dry skin, and then there's the mattifying primer, which I bought because you guys know I have oily skin, so I need that matte. I need some primer that has some mattification in it. Yes, I just made that word up. People make words up. How y'all think we have dictionary? People made words up and they said, this is what this means. So, maybe a couple centuries from now, you might see the word mattification in the dictionary, okay? I made that up. The hydrating foundation, just as the original Fenty Soft Matte Foundation, it comes in 50 shades with, of course, different undertones and different, they both have different finishes. I'm going to be testing this out just to see how well it holds up in St. Kitts sun. I know I said we have one universal sun, but me believe everybody got a different sun, because the way how the sun set up these lights in summer, no girl. All right, so I'm going to start off with prepping my skin with the Fenty mattifying primer. When it's new, you have to give it a couple of 2, 3. Let me just give myself 3 pumps, just for a little added security, because this is a hydrating foundation. And ooh, wow, wait, ooh, that really nice scent that the Fenty powders and foundations and stuff has. Oh my god, the primer has that same sexy, soft scent. It smells good. Oh my god. Ooh, it smells good. And it dries down to this really soft, silky feeling. It almost reminds me of the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. Yes, it has that same feeling, like the overall feeling of it. It just reminds me of that primer. Yeah, it feels good. Smells good, feels good. That's two, yeah, 2 stars so far. Smells good, feels good. Okay, so I'm back, and you guys already know whenever I don't have my eyebrows on, I feel like I look scary on camera. I feel like I look like, no, not Dobby. Dobby is Harry Potter. The thing from Lord of the Rings. Goblin, Gobbly, something, that white thing. I feel like I look like him, like just skinless without my eyebrows, you know, all sculpted and filled in and everything. All right, so before we go into testing the foundation, you know, applying it and everything, let's just see what Fenty's claims are for this foundation. And according to Fenty's website, it says it's a first of its kind hydrating long wear foundation that delivers it all with a comfortable medium to full coverage, serious staying power, and natural finish perfect from normal to dry skin, all in a groundbreaking range of 50 shades. Let's just start off with the usual. You guys know whenever something is new, it takes a while for it to come up. Wow, this is taking real long. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, there we go. Ooh. Is that like 1.5 or maybe? Okay, let me just give it an extra one just in case. I'm not sure. All right, so this is shade 440. You guys know my original shade is actually 430. I don't, looking at it right here on camera, looks a, you know what? I don't know. Let me just apply it to my skin and see how it looks. Okay, it looks like I might have been correct about going up a shade, but let me just blend it out real quick and see how it looks. Okay, yeah. Circular motion, baby. Ooh. Okay, so right off the bat, right? I'm wondering if it's supposed to dry down to somewhat of like a matte finish or something. I don't see that in its claims here, but when yeah, it looks like it's drying down to a bit of a like a soft matte. I don't want to say a full-on matte. It's kind of like a soft matte finish. Yeah, so let me just apply some to this side of my face. And oh, by the way, I don't have any of Fenty's brushes because I can't afford to buy a foundation that costs how much ever amount of that money. How much is this foundation? This foundation costs, yeah, $35, and still spend another 20 something dollars on a brush. I'm sorry, I'm not that rich. I'm sorry, I'm poor as hell, poor as dirt, as people have said. Definitely seeing somewhat of a small bit of a matte finish to it. It has this really, it's not a full-on matte. It's like a soft, velvety matte finish. That's what I'm seeing here. And ooh, girl, I'm loving the coverage. Definitely loving the coverage. I think I'm just going to apply the rest that's on my hand and just see, ooh, how the rest of my face looks. Like straight off the bat, I love this foundation. And honestly, ooh, I feel like I'm loving this more than the original formula. Like, no lie, I feel like I'm really loving this. Like, I'm just gonna give myself like one more pump, you know, just to give a little bit more coverage in the areas where I think I need coverage. You know, the areas where I have most breakout, which is actually around this area right here. So yeah, let me just add a little bit more right here. Those of you who've been following me on my channel, you guys know I don't really focus a lot of foundation underneath this area of my face, which is my under eye, because I feel like, you know, adding powder and concealers and all that, yeah, I feel like I just need to give my skin some breathing room and try not to put too many things in one place. So I try as much as possible to just reduce the amount of product that I put here in terms of foundation, because I know I'm going to apply concealer and still concealer and still powder. So, you know, I feel like it's a lot, you know, so just give your skin some breathing room. Yeah. Why I feel like this formula is so much better than the original, and that's what you expect from companies, right? Like when you release something for the first time, you expect it to be better than the first one. You know, you expect to see improvements overall, and I can definitely say I am loving this foundation. Oh, the finish is so beautiful, and it's so you guys see that it's so easy to blend. This is spectacular. I love this. Sticking with my original shade, which is 430 from the Soft Matte, the original foundation. I'm still going to be using the shade 430 in this video because it has a really nice warm yellowy golden undertone that I absolutely love. So you see that? Yeah, I'm just going to be sticking with this. So I'm going to be using that to conceal my under eye area and also to highlight. It's concealing and highlighting all in one. And the one thing I could tell from this, right, like the feeling and texture of this, I know that the concealer has like a gel finish and the foundation is liquid, but in terms of the overall finish and texture and all that, I'm getting the same vibe from the hydrating foundation as I did from the concealer. Like they have the same type of texture, so to speak. I know one is liquid and one is gel, but at the same time I can still see and feel the same type of finish going on. While I allow this to kind of dry down a little bit, I'm just going to just begin to like spread it across the area that I want it to spread, and then I'm just going to go ahead and highlight my forehead how I normally highlight it, and then I'm just going to drag that one stroke that I normally drag right down there and on my cheek. And then just for a little added more highlight, even though I already blended it out, I'm just going to add just a little bit more right there. And I'm going to take my sponge and just start blending out the edges just like that. Now normally you guys saw my new routine where I would add, you know, like a flesh tone concealer just to make sure everything is blended out properly, but because I don't really want to add too many things to this foundation, I'm going to skip that step just for this video, and just do a little bit more blending on at the edge of this highlight, just to make sure everything is nice and set. So I'm just going to let this dry down for like a minute or two, and then I'm just going to blend everything out. The tricks to blending out your concealer is just not moving it around a lot. All you have to do is place the concealer in the areas where you want to highlight, and you just nicely go in with nice soft tapping motions, and you blend that baby into your skin, you know, without having to move it around. All you're basically doing is just blending out the liquid that you applied right there. You're not moving it around or anything, just blending it out just to make sure. And you guys know I have really dark lids, so I always kind of go up right here. Well, not kinda, I go up. Let's not say kinda, because I do go up, and I just blend everything. And now this part of the makeup actually takes a bit of time. It's kind of like when you're blending out your eyeshadow, so this takes a bit of time. So for filming purposes, I always just cut this off, but I always show you guys exactly how I begin to blend it out. But yeah, it takes a while. Like makeup takes a while. If you want your makeup to look good, to set in place and everything, you have to, you know, set aside a portion of the day to say, hey, I'm going to take these 2 hours. Yes, 2 hours. Set aside 2 hours or an hour. If you skip steps, you can do an hour, maybe 15-30 minutes. But for me, I'm extra, so I do everything, so I need about 2 hours a day. So decide to do this full thing right here. Yeah. Okay, so we have that nice and blended. My hand tired from all the blending. I feel like when your mother put you to, you know, back in the old time days when your mother put you to ton con, that's what it felt like just now. Honestly, that's what it felt like just now. Okay, so just to set everything in place, I'm going to be using my Fenty Honey Instant Retouch Powder, by the way, right? For those of you I know who actually own this, those of you who I actually put onto this product, this powder, you know, because we know right now in terms of the powder, Fenty and Laura Mercier is basically leading the game. I have to give it to them. Laura Mercier, she's definitely like leading the game right now. But this powder right here, I'm telling you now, I actually think this is too much. This is an instant retouch powder, and this powder is so powerful, right? A little bit goes a long way. So if you're using this, just like me, this is what I do. I just start from here and work my way up, because I'm scared of actually using too much of this. And there was actually one point when I did that. There was actually one point when I used to put so much of this on, and I used to have to wet my face with setting spray just so that I could lift some of the matteness that was underneath my eye, because I like my eyes, you know, even though I really want it to be matte but not too matte, I still like to see a little bit of hydration underneath my eyes. So yeah, this just sucks all the oil and everything out. This is like, just like it says, the instant retouch powder, and it just sets everything into place. It just makes you look really matte in the areas where you apply it. So you have to just literally apply this in small amounts. A little bit goes a long way, I'm telling you now. Just look at this. look at the areas where I would have applied this. Like everything just looks like really matte. Yo, oh my goodness, I am absolutely in love with this hydrating formula. Honestly, I feel like this should have been the first one that Rihanna dropped. I know I might be someone a little bit, you know, I might sound a little bit wrong, but I feel like this should have been the first foundation that she dropped. This baby is just like amazing. But then again, you know, she dropped the soft matte and then she improved, you know, she upped the game and she dropped the hydrating. So I'm okay with that as well. You guys see me turning here because I'm going through this makeup drawer. It's so much clutter. I need to organize this makeup drawer. Not that I don't, right? I organize it, but then there are days when I'm really hustling and everything just get turned up like hurricane went to it. All right, so what I want to do is to just basically set or basically contour my face using just a bronzer only in the shade Mocha Mami, because I love how this foundation finish looks on my face and I really don't want to put too many stuff over it, only because I really want to see how well the foundation holds up throughout the wear test I'm about to give it, and I really don't want to put too many things over it. There's like this really soft matte finish that I'm seeing, which I absolutely love. Ooh, Lord, I can't believe I'm falling in love with the foundation. This is amazing. So I'm just going to apply a bit of the bronzer to my face. You guys know the trick, the number 3 or the letter E, I don't know what you want to call it whenever you're applying your bronzer. You just want to add a little bit of color on your jawline as well. And somebody like me who have a lot of forehead, yeah, I have to buy bronzers quite often because I have a lot of. So you guys already know the trick that I do. I think I showed you guys this in a video where I add a bit of setting spray to my complexion products, just so that they set all the way in. You know, it's just basically to reactivate the formula, and then I just kind of set it in with my Real Technique. Well, not set it in, press it in with my Real Technique brush. So I am back and I have completed the rest of my face. Now, I have been sitting down here for at least, let me just check real quick, for at least 2 hours now. I started like around 9 o'clock this morning and it's like 11:30 right now, and I could already tell, you know, I could already tell when a foundation is going to work for my skin type if I don't see any creasing or if I don't see, you know, any sweat breaking. I actually don't see any sweat breaking through at all, and the only thing I can actually say that I touched up was round here, because I could see that the foundation wasn't fully blended out right in this area right here, so I did a little bit of touch up right here. But you know, I don't sweat here, so this is not the area of concern. The area of concern is right here where I sweat the most, my nose bridge, right here in the center of my forehead, and right here around just the top of my mouth area, and right here like just below my eye. The area I'm really going to be focused on in terms of the longevity and the overall wear of this foundation. But so far so good. I can already tell, you know, if a foundation is going to work for me. Listen, if I don't see any creasing here by my smile lines, which I don't see, I can already tell, honey, hunty this foundation is going to be doing some really great things for my skin, and I really feel I'm going to love this. To go do a few errands, and I'm going to be checking back in with you guys a little bit later on throughout the course of the day. Maybe I'll check back in within the next 2 hours or so. I'm not sure I'm going to do this. Just depends on how much time I have in terms of, you know, getting my errands done and talking to you guys on camera at the same time. I'm not sure. Sometimes it doesn't work out. So let's just see. I'm going to check back in later with you guys. And ooh, I can't stop looking at myself. Listen, I think I'm good, girl. I think all right, guys, so I am checking back, and it is now exactly, I'm using my Apple Watch to checking the time. It's now exactly 3:25 p.m. You can see it, you know. Can't angle my hand anymore unless I break it, but it's 3:25 p.m. clocking it. So things first, let me just see. After wearing this foundation for like 6 hours, I can actually say that I'm sold on it. I'm sold on it. As a matter of fact, if persons haven't already, I really think because of the formula and the consistency and the fact that, you know, it actually dries down to like a soft matte, and the fact that it actually holds up this well on persons who have oily skin such as myself, I really think that a lot of the consumers, is that if they haven't already, because, you know, I'm late with my review, that they're going to gravitate more towards this hydrating foundation rather than the original formula. Not saying there's anything wrong with the original formula, but in terms of how how it feels, the longevity and all that. I feel like persons are going to gravitate more to this one. And I have seen a couple of persons who reviewed the original formula saying that, you know, it dries a little bit too dry. Sometimes it can often be a little bit too ashy. Sometimes it doesn't blend out the best, etc. You know, everybody's skin is different, so everybody has a different experience. So when I hear persons complain about certain foundations that worked for me but it didn't work for them, I'm like, you know what, it's no big deal, because I always tell people, you know, everybody's skin is different, so what works for me may not work for you. It's all about finding out what actually works for you, what you like, and figuring out the type of finish that you like. So straight out the bat, this definitely is going to be like a staple in my makeup drawer, because this just hit everything straight out the ball pack. I actually can't believe this as a hydrating foundation is actually long wear. According to its claim, it held up to its claim. And one of the things that I noticed is, like, you know, some foundations would actually say, oh, you would get like an 8-hour wear out of it, a 12-hour. Some even have like claims of holding up for 24 hours. I don't know who wants to wear the foundation for 24 hours, but I'm glad Fenty just put it's hydrating and it's long wear. That's all they put, and definitely they got it right. I feel like Rihanna is changing the makeup game. I feel like she keeps getting it right all the time, especially with the instant retouch powder. You guys know that. And I have to say, right, one of the two things that I think contributed to the longevity of this foundation is not only the instant retouch powder, but the primers as well. I feel like the formulas of the primers, they feel like it's like skincare and primer in a bottle. And you can actually see, you know, just looking at the bottle, if I saw this without even knowing what it was when I entered like a Sephora store or something like that, I would actually think that it's maybe like some sort of skincare, because the bottle, the packaging of it actually reminds me of skincare. And even though this is a mattifying primer, it's really comfortable to wear. I feel like it was very suitable. I feel like it was so suitable. I feel like these two just worked well hand in hand. You know, there are some mattifying primers that just dry down real hard and cakey, almost like a clay mask, or any one of those like skincare masks you actually have to peel off. There are some mattifying primers that actually do that. In the past, I've actually gravitated towards those type of primers, you know, primers like the Becca Evermatte Poreless Priming Perfector, which I thought was supposed to be good for my skin, but I find the more that you try to suck the living hell out of it, the more you're going to produce your own natural oils. So what I'm so happy for is that Rihanna actually understands the fact that, hey, you know, if you have oily skin, you want to give it that balance that it needs. You know, you want to give it back, lock back in that moisture while priming the skin. So she made this, the formula of this is absolutely amazing. In fact, I don't know, in terms of choosing like which primer I'm going to be using with my other Fenty stuff, I think I'm going to be using this one. I'm even concerned about the hydrating primer, because I know that's not going to work for me. But the original soft matte formula and this one, these two babies work for me. In fact, I think this one works even better for my skin type. So this is definitely also going to become a staple in my makeup drawer. So would I recommend these two products down here in St. Kitts? No, people say, listen, we got our own son. St. Kitts-Nevis got our own son. We have our own son. Would I recommend it down in this heat? Definitely. This is how I look after 6 hours of wear. Honey, get your Fenty hydrating foundation, get your primer that's suitable for your skin type, and also clocking and get one of these setting powders. I feel like Fenty is one of those brands, very similar to NARS, where you have to use all of their products in order for their foundations to work. You have to use your primers and you have to use their powders. If you don't use them, then you might see a little bit of a difference in the way the longevity and the complete look of your makeup. I feel like you have to use the products that they recommend in order for everything to just hold up, in order for everything to just look good. So yeah, Rihanna, 2 thumbs up, honey. You did it once again. I am in love with the primer. I am in love with the hydrating foundation. So that is it for this first impression / demo of the not so new, because you guys know I'm late with my review, the not so new Fenty hydrating foundation, and also the mattifying primer. If you happen to have enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up on your way out. And also, please don't forget, you know, it's Christmas. Be nice. Christmas is the time of giving, so give me some subscribers. Go ahead and click the subscribe button on your way out. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and I'll talk to you guys real soon on my next upload and in the upcoming new year. Bye bye.